of all, you've also had a couple of great results, and you go into this game really, on form. What's your thoughts heading into the game against Hibs, first of all?
It'll be a very difficult game. We've already had 2 previous encounters against Hibs. The nothing each draw at Easter Road, I felt we did well in, and the 2-1 here, where I felt we were aggrieved. We should have, I think, at least taken a point from the game. So we know the task ahead of us. They're a good side, Hibs. I've just watched their game against Aberdeen, 2-2 draw. It was a really entertaining game, and they're a possession-based team with a really expansive style of play. So we've managed to have a full week's training this week, which is a bit unusual with the amount of games we've had up to recently. And you certainly work on a game plan during that week. But I know going into Saturday's game, it's a great venue, brilliant venue to play at. The players will enjoy that. They've already enjoyed it this season. But it's a tough opponent, and there's a lot we'll need to do right in terms of in possession and out of possession to give ourselves a chance of picking up points on the road.
And obviously you're in 6th position in the league, and a victory on Saturday could really consolidate that position and increase the gap on Hibs. I mean, how big an incentive is that going into the game?
Listen, every game's different. The incentive is to go and try and beat a good side away from home. Whatever happens after that, you look at the league table after that. Our sole objective is to go down there and put on a performance that hopefully will merit us getting the points. And we've done that already. We went down there with a good performance in the nothing each draw we had. Could have won it at the end with our own bet chance. But so that's all we're looking at. Looking at the game in its entirety and making sure that everything that we work on in training, we try and execute that game plan, and we do all we can to get the points.
How pleased are you with how things are going and where you are in the league on the back of back-to-back wins? And there have been results that have been a bit up and down, but I mean, you've really come into your own and shown that you're a force to be reckoned with in this league. I
think it's important. I've said consistently, it's for me as a manager, it's all about getting that consistent level of performance, which I've had from the squad. And we're now beginning to. And I'd said if we do that, we will pick up points, and that will reflect in our league position. And I think you're beginning to see that now. I think we're gaining a wee bit of momentum. The squad's getting really strong. I'm getting everybody back. Antonio Portales is back. Ricky Alami's back. Michael Mellon's back. Curtis Main's getting up to speed. So just at the right time of the season, I think I'm beginning to get the squad really, really strong. So it's taking that into each game. And listen, you guys don't like it, it's cliche, but it's one game at a time. And we've got a difficult opponent on Saturday. And hopefully if we can execute a game plan and deploy the right personnel to do that, then hopefully we'll come away with some points.
And Michael Mellon, gave you a bit of a fright, that incident, but how is he doing then?
He's great. We've just had our most recent training session there, and he was fantastic. So really good tempo to the whole training session with the players, but no, he done really well. So no, he's back, he's fully fit, and he'll be considered and available for selection.
And great to have the others back as well, the likes of Portales, who's been out
for a
while.
Yeah, particularly Antonio, and it's testament to him. He's 2 weeks early, like he was with his last injury, and that's testament to his professionalism and his mentality. He worked so hard in terms of his rehab to get back, and we're delighted. He's a really popular character in the squad. He's a real winner. He's got a brilliant mentality, and he's the type I want in that dressing room to go with the other ones that are in there. So we're delighted that just at this stage of the season, with 8 games to go with the run-in, we're getting everybody back, and there's a real kind of strong feeling about the squad at the moment, and there's a really healthy level of competition, which I'm sure you can see for some of the players that have come in. For example, Mo Salah recently and performed to a real high level, but he's waited his turn and he's got in there and he's took his opportunity, and I like to see that as manager. You like to see a really healthy level of competition, and that will help us hopefully achieve our objectives we've got.
And just otherwise, in terms of team news, is everyone fit then, or have you got any injury worries?
Well, all the ones I mentioned are back. The only one, Ryan Howley's not quite made it. Charlie Riley's still feeling a bit of his hamstring, and Diego Pineda, but out with that, we've got a strong squad to pick from.
Okay, thank you.
What have you made of Hibs so far this season?
Well, I can only, the games that we've played them, they've been good games. As I said, they're a very possession-based team. They've got a attractive, kind of expansive style of play. So, I think they're good to watch. I enjoy the style of play that they have. But for us, it's all about us, to be quite honest with you. So we'll analyse what Hibs are. In the recent game, as I said, against Aberdeen, I was impressed with most of their attacking play. They've got really good players in forward areas that we need to be mindful of, and we need to make sure that we, as I say, execute our game plan against them. But, I'm much more concerned with how my team can handle that Hibs front line and give them problems going the other way.
A couple of good goals from Scott Tiffany there at the weekend. Do you feel that's a bit of reward for him for all the hard work he's been putting in over the last few weeks?
Aye, I do, and I was delighted. I said that after the game because I see Tiff every day what he does, and there's been an adaptation period for Tiff for coming up for playing the Championship and getting used to, you know, the intensity I think that we train at and the intensity of the Premier League. And you could see that, you know, and he's been working really, really hard and things out with, you know, not just tactically, you know, and physically and all that kind of stuff as well. And he's finishing, and so for him to get his reward and take on the instruction, which was the game plan for the game, I was really pleased for him. And he's in buoyant mood, as are the whole squad at the moment. And it's just good to see players, when I see the amount of work they put in during the week, it's good to see them getting that reward.
You've managed to put together in the league for the first time 2 wins back to back.
Yeah.
Do you feel that a third win on that would give you any more pressure, or do you feel that it's just the start of a good run to come?
Well, obviously 2 back-to-back wins, again, it gets you a bit of momentum, it gets the kind of confidence in the squad, it gets that kind of feel-good factor about it. And the most pleasing thing about the most recent one for me there was a clean sheet, you know, because we hadn't had a clean sheet for quite a while. But I think a lot of that was down to the injuries we spoke about there. Of a long period I've been missing Portales, Lamy, Donnelly, who are important players, you know. But now we've got them back, we've just got a clean sheet there. It's to try and build on that. And yeah, we've won 2 there, but just at this stage of the season, I think it's really important that you try and build up any kind of momentum that you can, and that's what we're endeavouring to try and do.
Bit disappointed the last time you were at Easter Road to not come away with a victory.
Yeah.
How much do you want to do one more?
Yeah, we'd love to do that. We'd love to do it. We'd again, going back to the clean sheets, we had a really good defensive performance and counter-attack well. Known Beck had a real good opportunity from a Ryan Howley cross that we could have won it just at the death. But again, I'll reiterate that as a manager, the importance is seeing that level of performance, and particularly that day it was a really good level of performance. And I think if we do that, if we replicate that type of performance at a difficult venue against a tough opponent, we'll give ourselves every chance of getting that momentum and picking up more points.
Report today that Lee Ashcroft's on the verge of signing on loan for Wraith. Is there any truth in that?
Yeah, Lee Ashcroft had a few suitors, you know, and he's another player that at this stage with the injuries coming back of Antonio Portales, Ricky Lamy, I couldn't guarantee him game time. So Lee at the stage he's at, you know, he was wanting guaranteed football, and he's chose to go on loan at Wraith Rovers to do that. So we wish him all the best. He's a fantastic professional, Lee. Love working with him. He's only went on loan, but he's wanting to finish the season at Wraith, and we wish him all the best.
And I suppose he could also then play his way back into your plans and thoughts going forward as well.
Of course, listen, we've got 8 players out on loan at the moment, you know, so we constantly monitor those players because the majority of them are still under contract for next season. So, yeah, it gives them opportunity to play and us to see them and see how they're progressing, and if they become part of next year's squad, then that's down to them.
Just a quick one as well. You mentioned, you know, obviously Mo Silla and Scott Tiffany are players that have sometimes had to wait a little bit for their opportunities this season, but when they've come in, they've performed. And how do you manage that in the squad when you have some players that necessarily won't maybe be in the team week in, week out, but will get their opportunity and make sure that they perform when they do get that chance?
I think any team success is based on a healthy level of competition and a good understanding between teammates, and I think that's what I've got in that dressing room. I've said it for long enough that, you know, there's a really good blend of young, talented, hungry footballers in there, but really good senior pros. And I see them working on a daily basis, and everybody wants to be in that starting 11, and they're all doing their best to do that. And when the opportunity, like the 2 you mentioned, presents itself, you've got to take it. And they've done that. But, you know, it's the healthy level of competition. And I often say to the players, you know, sometimes in terms of winning games, it's not the starting team, it can be the finishing team. As long as you're part of that winning team, do all you can during your training, during the week, to make sure that you're part of that. And listen, they're brilliant here. They're a fantastic group of boys to work with. And it's testament to them and the 2 boys that you mentioned that they work hard every day. And as you said earlier on, when they get rewarded for that, you know, work that they put in during the week, it's great to see, and that spreads through the squad.
Okay, Joe, well, first of all, a couple of great results for Dundee going into this game, but what's your general thoughts heading into the game against Hibs on Saturday?
Yeah, like you say, on the back of a couple of good wins and puts us in a good position. I think it's always tough going away to Hibs. And we know it's going to be a tough game, but it's a good chance to kind of show what we're about and show that we can match them and hopefully go and get a good positive result.
And you're in that 6th place position, a few points ahead of Hibs, but this could really help consolidate that, couldn't it?
Yeah, it's just a chance for us to go and open up a bigger gap between ourselves and them. Like at this time of the season, you're looking to do that and try and really push on now. So it's a good chance, yeah.
How much do you feel that things are really coming together for Dundee? Because obviously, some of the results have been a bit up and down, but you find yourself in a great position in the league, and on the back of 2 great victories.
Yeah, I think we've done well to anytime we've had a couple of bad results, we've not gone on any sort of run, a run of bad results where you get dragged down towards the bottom of the table, and we've managed to, if you have, like I say, a couple of bad results, you manage to react and kind of get back to winning ways, which is probably why we are where we are in the league at the minute. But yeah, the squad's looking good. We're getting a few players back to fitness, and yeah, I think you see that with the last couple of results. What are you expecting from Hibs on Saturday? I think, as always, any time I played them, they're attacking wise, they're very, very strong. They hit you very fast, and yeah, that seems to be where their danger is. So we kind of have to contain their front 3, 4, and then impose our own game plan after that, I think. Thank you.
I think that's the first time this season you've got 2 victories back to back. What would it mean to get 3 on Saturday? Yeah,
it would be brilliant. That's kind of what you want to do, especially at this stage of the season. Try and get on a run of positive results and really push up the league. So yeah, that's definitely the aim.
And looking to get a little bit of a better result than you got the last time you visited Easter Road.
Yeah, I think last time we played there, we defended well. We maybe didn't threaten as much going forward, although I think we had a chance to win it towards the end. But yeah, look to cause them a few more problems than we did last time there.
And do you feel that the new people that have come in January to join the squad have helped put that extra bit of kind of gloss on the squad from them?
I think so. I think we've definitely strengthened the squad in January. I'd imagine the manager's quite happy with his recruits, and it seems like they've all fitted in well and kind of helped us out, definitely.
Got a clean sheet the last time you were down there, and one last weekend. So is that something that you guys are looking to add more of?
Yeah, I think at the start of the season we had a run of a few clean sheets, and that was kind of what we built the success on. And since we've come back from the winter break, I think that's our first one. So it's definitely something we're aware of. We didn't have enough clean sheets in those last 7 fixtures, but it's something we definitely want to keep up. Yeah.
Just a quick one as well, Joe. Are Hibs a team that you've enjoyed playing against over your career? From a few, if I can think back in my mind, there's a few times I can remember quite a few headers you've scored against them over the years.
Yeah. To be fair, I do like playing at Hibs. I've enjoyed it. Like you say, I've scored a couple of goals there over the years, and I think I actually made my debut for Aberdeen there back in 2012. So I like going to Easter Road, and the fact that I've scored a couple of goals there as well kind of just adds to that. So yeah.